Hello and welcome to the show. The turn of the new year was exciting as 2020 signified the beginning of a new decade, a milestone full of hope and possibilities. But as the year started, COVID-19, which was something we associated with China in the news, and many of us didn't really pay much attention to, started to spread worldwide. And by March, we found ourselves in this unprecedented situation of being locked down to stop the spread, save lives, and protect the country and the NHS. In these challenging times, we as a nation are going beyond our usual keep calm and carry on mantra and really stepping up. And as we hear from our grandparents, it's just like they did in the war. We're helping our friends and neighbours, supporting local charities, volunteering, and of course, setting our watch to clapping for the NHS on Thursday evenings. So today on Pushing Boundaries from Behind Boundaries, we of course have the usual suspects of me, Kate McIntyre, Danny Lucas and James Valentino. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Kate.
And of course, we are also joined by Alistair Macaulay, the MD of Dulux. Welcome to the team, Alistair. How are you doing?
Thanks, Kate. Yes, good to join you. Very well, thanks.
Okay, let's get stuck straight in here now. Alistair, let's just set the scene a little bit here because your relationship with Lucas goes back many years, doesn't it? So tell me a little bit more.
It does. Well, obviously, we're a paint company and Lucas is a painting contractor. So the relationship goes back many years. Danny and the team have been a really loyal customer of Dulux. That relationship has built over those many years, and certainly over the past 2 to 3 years, myself and Danny have worked much closer on many initiatives, both in the UK, but actually Danny's also been a judge for our Paint the Future initiative over in Amsterdam, where we partner and collaborate with smaller businesses, more entrepreneurial businesses, to ensure that a business the size of AkzoNobel can operate in a bit more of an agile way. So a great relationship, and I would say the vast majority of it is based around innovation and pace to market.
And talking about innovation, James, I know Colour and Concierge is something that I know all about from doing the Lucas News, and that was a great collaboration, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, Colour and Concierge was kind of our first opportunity, really, with Dulux or Akzo to launch a product together and sort of innovate together. It was a sensor system that we came up with. Both companies had their own sort of R&D going on, looking into this technology separately, and we decided to come together and collaborate for it. That evolved into a product that we launched in partnership with Dulux in the UK for the London market. We launched that in July 2018 in London, a little event in Finsbury Pavement. We invited lots of people throughout the industry down, architects, clients, developers, contractors, and we launched it together there. Now, that's evolved since then, and Dulux have rolled that technology out, and that's now something that they've run with and turned into a much bigger sort of innovation, if you like.
And Danny, just going back to when you were on the panel in Amsterdam, I remember when we did the Lucas show, that was a real honour for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was really, obviously I was introduced to Akzo HQ, if you like, by Alistair through our relationship here, and then completely blown away to be invited to the Paint the Future programme over in Amsterdam. So the stuff that I saw that they were involved in was mind-blowing. Drones that paint buildings, paint that changes colour, you name it. I mean, there's a complete forward-thinking approach there in the business. So really fits in well. And I think Alistair hit the nail on the head that innovation is at the heart of what we do together, and it drives our relationship because we're both very much into Paint the Future.
Great. Now, we'll be talking about the future and your current collaboration in a moment, but let's sort of talk about the atmosphere at the moment, because I know we're all craving connections and want to come together and help people celebrate others and be positive. Now, Alistair, in that vein, you have come up with an initiative to connect the whole of the construction industry. Is that right? Now, Danny gave me a few hints last week because he does like to keep us on our toes. He wouldn't say too much, but over the last few days, I have been seeing the hashtag True Colours creeping up on social media. So what's it all about?
And really, Kate, what it's all about is construction is a huge industry. It employs close to 3 million people in the UK. It's such a key part of the GDP and the economy. And I think over the last couple of months, it's been really, really visible on many levels. So the government has done its utmost to keep construction going. And that has led to much criticism, actually. And at certain times, construction has been vilified. It's a huge employer. You know, we really need to do something to shout out about all of the great work that's going on within construction as a whole industry. And True Colours was really born out of the fact that we are much stronger if we operate in a much more united way than alone. So working together with each other to shout out about some of these great initiatives and how we step up as individuals to face into this crisis and hopefully beyond and represent our own true colours, both at an individual level, but also at a business level.
Perfect. So I have to ask, I mean, how did True Colours hit you? Was it a light bulb moment whilst pumping out Cyndi Lauper at home? I mean, how did you draw that connection, which is perfect?
Yeah, so it was a flashback to the 80s. But I think before it was a flashback to the 80s, when we first set out in the crisis, what really hit me was many businesses were still leading with talking about numbers, so profit and the economy and where we're heading. And actually, stepping back from it all, it was a real turning point because the key focus had to be and still has to be people. So protecting people through this crisis is first and foremost above anything else. And that really resonated with me. And, you know, having been subject to a lot of the criticism myself, you know, working with my Dulux hat on, but also seeing what was happening in the industry, thought there's actually so many untold stories within this industry where we really need to work together and shout out. We need to engage the government to support us. And since then, it has, you know, really stepped up, I think, and helped support construction. But going forward, we also need to really fly the flag for what True Colours is all about. So True Colours then obviously kept to the track and Cyndi Lauper, and it's and that's when it really came together. And actually, we thought, let's have a bit of fun with this. There's so much dark news out there at the moment. Every day we turn on the TV, that's what we hear about. And there are so many great stories that are hidden away. So actually, let's try and drive some positivity and lift the morale of everybody right across this industry, whether they're painters, decorators, builders, whether they work in retail stores or merchants. Everybody's got a story to tell. And I think if we can connect those stories brilliantly, then I think it could become something quite powerful.
Completely. And I think it is the stories, the people behind those stories, behind the business that are of the utmost importance. And Danny, they've always been a real focus for you at Lucas as well. So how did you get on board with True Colours then with Alistair?
Well, I was out on a walk on a Sunday. I remember the phone call well. Alistair phoned me up. We're always thinking about our businesses, thinking about our people, thinking about the future. And I think that this situation that we're in really focused the mind on, you know, not sitting around, but actually really using brain time while we had it to think about how we could move forward. And I've got to say that I instantly got it. As soon as Alistair shared his thoughts with me about True Colours, I was on board. It was an absolute given. Of course, a child of the 80s myself, so of course the song resonated with me. The words, they mean so much. We're in the world of paint, we're in the world of colour, and I realised that we could reach out with a message that could actually be really powerful and harness all of the positive things that are going on. And of course, it is about people. We're a company that are into teamwork. We're a company that are known for being part of a sort of family, really, a family network. I call it friends and family. And for me, it was an absolute no-brainer. We could widen this and unite, as Alistair said, to create something that was a movement going forward.
Yeah, I mean, we're all showing our age now, aren't we, by knowing the True Colours track. But Alistair, what other partners have you managed to get on board to help you with this?
Yeah, so we weren't going to do it alone. And this isn't, you know, this is absolutely not about selling more paint. This is really about trying to get the construction industry on the front foot. So I thought, actually, everybody's in the same boat here. So I phoned around some of the other businesses. So Homebase, Travis Perkins, obviously spoke to Danny first and foremost, and many other contractors. And to be quite honest, pretty much everybody has engaged with it to a point where we now need to control it so that we can really pull together that vast array of incredible stories that are out there.
Great. Now, I have a bone to pick with you guys because I believe there was a virtual choir doing a recording of the classic True Colours by Cyndi Lauper, which I've been humming all week. Now, I didn't get my call. James, did you get your dulcet tones on there?
didn't know. I don't think anyone wants to hear mine.
I don't know, James. Now's your moment.
Who from Lucas did you get to have a little sing along? Were you up there, Danny and Alistair?
Yeah, so my rendition got panned immediately. Yeah, that wouldn't be great. There's some high notes in that song. You don't realise until you start singing it. So even when I'm in the shower, I can't reach those high notes. But it's quite amusing because obviously I said to Danny, we're going to have a bit of fun with this as well. We're all cooped up at home at the moment, and I saw a virtual choir singing on something, and I thought, what a great thing it would be to connect our industry through this song and give it a go. This is all about giving it a go. And in the chat with Danny, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a great idea," typical Danny. And we left it there. And lo and behold, within 24 hours, I got Danny's own rendition with the most serious face on, singing this song to hit the notes. And I was like,
not from the shower, I hope, Alistair.
No, thank God, no. but that was great. And then so Danny got involved, and but then actually I reached out to our own community, and Danny reached out to the Lucas team, and we said, look, does anybody want to get involved in singing this? And before you knew it, we had, I think, 25, 26 very willing and very capable singers, I have to say, which very much slam dunk any chance of me getting on the video. And they sung the song virtually, and Danny and the team have crafted and choreographed that song into something that is in itself quite powerful, even without the stories that sit behind it.
Yeah, well, I look forward to hearing that and seeing that a little bit later. So obviously, Alistair, you want the whole of the construction industry, however big or small, from tradesmen to manufacturers, to get involved, share their story, nominate their heroes. So what's the easiest way for them to get in touch? I know you're sending out letters, but is it very simple?
Yep, so it's really simple. So the easiest way to get involved is #TrueColours. So no matter where people choose to post or raise funds, hopefully that is the common connector. So whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever it may be, the beauty of modern technology is we're able to pull down those hashtags and hopefully connect with some of those stories. Behind the True Colours song will be a video, and hopefully we can build on that video over time where we can bring some of those stories to life brilliantly, so that they resonate, and we can share that as best practice across the industry. We're setting up a Facebook site, or it's already set up now, so you can click on True Colours, and there's going to be a community there that we create. And again, this isn't about Acton Bell or just Lucas. It's very much a generic opportunity, no matter where you may sit in the industry, to get involved and play your part. So yeah, many simple ways to get involved.
Yeah, great. Now, Danny, I mean, obviously loads of people you've said they want to get involved from all other areas, and there will be opportunities in the future. So far, how has your team embraced this whole movement, whether it's a team in the office or the guys out on site? Are they really getting behind this?
Yeah, Kate, this has given us a real purpose as a business to come back now. I mean, getting our head around the new procedures 3 weeks ago when we started to open sites, and now the offices last week, everybody's fired up. True Colours is a big message in our business, and what it's done is it's given us a purpose. And I think that at this time where it's about supporting others, protecting people, and reaching out to actually do acts of kindness, I'm absolutely amazed at the response that we've had. It's completely fired up the business and given us a lot of positivity.
Okay, come on, let's get to the nitty gritty now. James, what stories have your team come up with that stick in your mind? Give me a couple of nuggets here.
Well, I mean, there's so much that's happened as a result of this that, I couldn't choose, really. It's been amazing. I mean, the teams, we've donated to food banks, care homes, charities, NHS. Something that's great is we've been 3D printing visors and donating them to other contractors that can't get hold of them, which is, it's been a great sense of kind of camaraderie in the industry as well, which has really brought everyone together, which has been amazing. Something that was a big eye opener as well was when we got the opportunity to donate some supplies in the form of sanitizer and thermometers and things like that to NHS Nightingale. And I think that was a big eye opener, getting there in first person and seeing the scale of how this is affecting people and what's going on. And I think that just really cements what we've done. And as Danny said, it's given everyone in the team a real sense of purpose. It's really changed the dynamic.
So certainly then, I mean, these acts of kindness are happening every day. You're really getting behind people, and they're supporting you wholeheartedly on this. Alistair, obviously you're across all of the moments and stories that come in. You've heard a few from Danny and James there. Are there any others that have stuck in your mind that have gone across your desk or social media?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, and there's obviously these large acts of huge NHS support, huge donations from the big companies. So Homebase, for example, have donated huge amounts of PPE to the NHS, as have many other customers of ours. We ourselves, we've donated over £100,000 worth of paint now to the NHS hospitals, because there was this huge pressure, which wasn't that long ago, to get these hospitals open and obviously operational. Yeah. And it feels as though we're through that now, and those hospitals are operating. I think it's that collective force of all of these stories that has made that happen, which is great. But the ones that really get me are the smaller stories, where individuals just step up and go above and beyond. So individuals you've got these production facilities that they've created at home, Danny being one of them, with all of the bottles on his dining room table, but making scrubs, my daughter's school making face masks, and screens for the NHS. My kids now, on a Thursday, we use our pizza oven and we supply our whole street with pizzas. They all donate to the NHS. And when we come out and clap the carers, it was really amusing. Last Thursday, they were all comparing pizza toppings. It's the simple stuff like that where we step up, and communities really do reach out and connect with each other. We have to embrace these times, and it's as I said at the start, it's very dark times in many ways, but the collective force of stepping up and hopefully reaching out to each other.
So, Alistair, just before we go, have you got any final shout-outs to people who've been involved or to get people involved?
Yeah, so it's exactly that, Kate. It's a huge shout-out, actually. Firstly, for everybody in our business, everybody across our two businesses, I think, for the way they've faced into this crisis, right from the start to where we are now, and ensuring that we're set up to move forward and hopefully come out the side as fit and healthy as we possibly can. And then to everybody for really jumping on the back of this. So for Danny picking up the phone on that Sunday afternoon walk, little did he know what he was walking into. But if there was one person who I wanted to answer that phone and jump on the back of this with me, then it was always going to be Danny, and the team behind. So I think the collective force of everybody behind the Dulux team, and of course the Lucas team, a big shout out, because they have worked tirelessly to turn this around in really just a couple of weeks, and I think we've now got something that's great to be able to build on.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for having a chat. I'm going to take some singing lessons just in case you do a Christmas remix of True Colours. James, do you want to join me?
We'll definitely be inviting you, Kate, for the next cut, which we hope to be doing in a few weeks. You will definitely get asked, so okay, we'll hold you to that.
Thank you very much. Well, talking about that, actually, Danny, do you think you could maybe play us out with the True Colours choir before the jingle?
I think it would be a fantastic way to end the show, Kate, with the True Colours song by the Lucas and Dulux teams and the wider guys that got involved in that. So with pleasure, here we go.
Show me a smile.